Welcome to the second decennial Slaying of the Spire tournament. It's a race to the top, or till they all drop. Our heroes enter the Spire wearing ambition on their shire. Okay, look, I was supposed to do a retrospective on a GBA game this week, but I played too much Slay the Spire 2, and now I gotta make a video out of it. Just stay tuned, it's a really good one. This is indeed a tournament between the 5 playable characters, followed by a ranking of who I believe is the strongest playable character in Slay the Spire 2. I'm going to assume you know the bread and butter of this game, but even if you don't, Slay the Spire is an easy game to learn visually. This won't be hyper in-depth, peer-reviewed psychoanalysis. This will be my take on this build of the game. It's important to mention, this is early access. Cards are still subject to change, which is why it's the perfect time to give feedback. I know I will personally be sending vague threats to the developers over what they've done to Blade Dance. Look at how they massacred my boy. The rules of this contest are as follows. With a new profile, I will do a single run for each character. Based on these runs and my current knowledge of the game, I will then rank the characters on 3 criteria from 1 to 10. Those being concept, which is the inherent theoretical power of their unique mechanics, tools, which is the more tangible cards, relics, and potions available to each character, and assembly, which is the ease or difficulty in crafting a good build from the random parts the game offers. This system should do well at simplifying the more complex aspects of the game. For example, Seeker from the first game would score low on concept, above average on tools, but assembly is so high, 10 out of 10 doesn't do it justice. She was the strongest character in Slay the Spire 1. But the reigning champ is nowhere to be found in this game. So who's gonna claim the title? And who's gonna slay the Spire 2? It's time to find out. Also, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. We go first to the Ironclad, a straightforward brute who's as good at taking damage as he is dealing it, and taking damage he has. Seems I played Headbutt so much in Slay the Spire 1 that the Ironclad now has dementia, and not funny dementia, violent dementia. Where am I? Who are you people? The Ironclad has one minor handicap, as everyone else gets a starting gift from Mommy Niao, which you might call unfair, but the Ironclad calls proving a point. He dives in and is immediately given some important decisions to make. First, he obtains a brand new card type, the Quest card. These unplayable cards take up space in your deck with the promise of future benefits. In this instance, he received an egg. Next, he gets to enchant a card. Throughout the Spire, random events can now apply permanent buffs to our cards, and they are very diverse. This mechanic is the reason I am doing this video, because I was not going to be playing anything else this week once I saw this. He buffs Inflame, making it a free card, and moves on to an elite fight against a giant green bird, further boosting his strength. He immediately fulfills his quest of hatching the egg at the first rest site. It's important. I now see why the big bird was upset. He gets a good card, but more importantly, a pet. I don't have any friends who play this game, so companionship is appreciated. His build is very aggressive, focusing on vulnerability and boosting strength, which serves him well against the first boss, Veteran. He is offered a rare card reward, which includes my favorite new card, Primal Force. And you know what they say, a bird in the hand is worth several stones in the enemy's face. Great form, but let's see how the Silent is faring. Slay the Spire 2 has added quite the selection to her discard and shiv-based arsenals. Haven't seen much of her poison kit, but I'm sure it's great. She's never looked better, but her build certainly has. Key mistakes were taking the cards Haze and Tactician. These cards have the new keyword Sly, which means they get played for free when discarded. The problem being they were taken before the deck could discard regularly.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
With cruel irony, she did not get any discard effects in Act 1, instead getting much more mileage from Serpent form, which is great for boss fights, including the Ancestor Spirit, or Ceremonial Beast, one of those two. She chooses another Sly card, assuring us that it'll work out eventually. Through writing, of course. That was rough. But she clears Act 1 with a lot of unrealized potential. Next is our first rookie, the Regent, an alien noble who uses a second resource type and has quite the affinity for creating colorless cards mid-combat. His second resource is called Stars. Yes, stars. You start with 3, and after that, it's generated by cards. So you have to convert normal energy into star energy with 1 card, then use that star energy to cast a second card. It's like you're converting USD into yen to get your penis touched. She should just accept USD is all I'm saying. You're using 2 cards to get the effect of 1. Let's save that discussion for later. He's the most complicated character by far, so he's got to be discerning on which cards he adds to his deck. As a noble, I see the true value of things, and I know I need to buy all these cards right now.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
While his deck is big for Act 1, it's also hard, solid. He has a good mix of generating stars, using stars, and building his Sovereign Blade. This mechanic has you forge more damage onto this single card to eventually overwhelm the enemies. You also add new effects to the Sovereign Blade, like hitting all enemies. It's a good win condition, which is exactly what he does against these peasant jungle dwellers. As a noble, he arranges a political marriage between the Star and Sovereign Blade parts of his deck. Next rookie is the Necrobinder. She summons and empowers a skeletal hand to fight and take damage on her behalf, while building Doom, a new status that kills an enemy if their current health is equal to or lower than their Doom. A neat feature is that some cards have Osteoporosis the hand deal the damage. Osti is unaffected by weakness or strength drops. Oh, and her damage received goes against her block, then Osti's HP, then her HP, so she's quite the tank. Her deck takes shape fast, highly defensive, relying on Doom to kill, and enjoying some insane card draw from the soul cards she generates. On that note, she beats her Act 1 boss and chooses Seance, which transforms 1 card in your draw pile into a soul, basically exhausting a card to create a free draw. Nothing too scary for this lich as she moves on. Our last entry is the beloved Defect, generating orbs for offense and defense, with a love for power cards and zero-cost attacks. This little misfit has the worst luck right from the get-go. Some unfortunate hands force him to take big damage, but he assembles a good array of claw support. The new lightning support is also solid, making each evoke deal extra damage, and passively generating lightning orbs each turn gives a lot of free value. Once he gets his health back, Act 1 proves unthreatening, even as this new boss self-destructs upon defeat. The Defect takes Iron Lance going forward. All of our challengers now enter Act 2. Act 1 often tests how fast you can deal damage, while Act 2 requires a more robust strategy. We no longer get relics after Act 1 and 2. Instead, Act 2 and 3 offer starting gifts, which could be relics but also cards and card enchantments. The Ironclad has very good card draw, so he's very tempted by the very hot cocoa, but then he remembers how fucking badass the polar bear fight from Golden Compass was, so he picks that. This creates a single, highly beneficial path. Thanks to a new relic, the Miniature Tent, the Ironclad safely powers up his deck throughout this act and crushes Shai Halud.
Listen, I gave!
This thing has ended more of my runs than any other enemy so far, so this is a good showing. He takes an Impervious and moves forward. Unsurprisingly, we haven't heard from the Silent in a while. Oh, Hosanna! By God as my witness, she's broken in half! The crowd favored the Silent goes down in Act 2? Yeah, I fucked up. The deck was not good enough to run into a combat-heavy path with multiple elites. I was doing a lot of hope play, which is when you hope the RNG gives a certain result, but the more control you give the RNG, the worse you'll perform. Only being offered a single discard effect so far was unlucky, but the Silent loses here due to greed. That's just how we do it in this Spire. We get greedy, fail, and move on to the next character. As a noble, I see the true value of things. I need to add 2 more cards to my deck at the start of this act. The Regent has an easy time with Act 2, but he's doing that thing that makes suspension bridges collapse. It's called self-exciting. He's added a lot of cards to his deck trying to make the Stars and Sovereign Blade mechanics work, but now he needs card draw, which costs energy. So now he needs energy production, but he still needs cards to play.
It's a vicious cycle.
The relax cards he got as a starting bonus are holding the deck together for now, but even Finn the Shaman Boy gives him a run for his trust fund money. Necrobinder seems to be doing well. Despite not having a stomach, she has a food theme to her relics, so she takes the very hot cocoa and safely crawls through Act 2. With her powers to generate block after applying Doom and her insane card draw, she may go all the way without any trouble. While Doom has and will be very strong, it is not without its difficulties, namely the fact that Doom kills at the end of the opponent's turn, which has some unfavorable interactions. Enter the Decimillipede. This enemy has 3 segments that respawn after a turn unless you kill them all at the same time. However, Doom kills at the end of the enemy's turn, meaning the segments will respawn first. This is something I believe needs to be fixed. If you kill with an attack, they get stunned until next turn. But if you kill with Doom, they go straight to respawning. Why? Doom goes after their turn. They got to act, then Doom, then they should be stunned. This interaction makes the fight insanely difficult unless you get them all at the beginning, which I mean the Necrobinder, didn't know to do. For comparison, the actual boss barely did 10 damage. So long as she can stay away from hard counters, she still has a shot. Her reward is a card that would have been real nice a minute ago! The Defect plays it safe and upgrades 4 cards, but continues the streak of bad luck with a lot of force damage against the damn Decimillipede. He enchants the Ice Lance to deal more damage but cost 2 health, which may have been a mistake as the damage piles up until he ends a fight with exactly 1 HP. Could another Hall of Fame contender bow out in Act 2? Beep boop, says the Defect. He heals from entering a shop and at a rest site in order to face nature's machine, the Crab. It costs his fairy in a bottle, but he survives. Act 2 has been rough. Slay the Spire 2 seems much harder than 1. It's a welcome challenge, but Act 3 is where you need a proper value engine or you will die. No block twice, attack once. You need powers, synergy, combos if you want to win. The Ironclad immediately starts with a devious combo. He gains the Meat Cleaver, allowing him to remove 2 cards and gain 9 maximum hit points at rest sites. This combos with the Miniature Tent to make rest sites a full-service pit stop. Not even the elites of Act 3 threaten him as he perfects his deck, adding gas and cutting cheese. Excuse me. He reaches the final boss with less cards than he came in with, which is amazing because the larger a deck is, the more unpredictable. So the Regent takes the Sigh as a safety blanket. He has all the right tools already in his deck. If he can just use his massive wallet to hit a couple shops for a card removal. As a noble, I see the true value of things. These relics are clearly authentic even if I already have the anchor, so I need to buy all of them right now. God damn it. Despite his deck almost being legal for Yu-Gi-Oh! Play, the Regent does comfortably make it to the final boss. Necrobinder picks up a throwing axe in hopes of getting a free power card each combat. Her unbreakable defense serves her well even in this high damage environment, but her luck is not so strong as she stops getting Doom cards. Still, full health and a bottled fairy into the final boss. Defect gets the worst starting bonuses for Act 3, ending up with the Blood-Soaked Rose, which gives 1 more energy each turn in exchange for a nasty curse. His luck is quite good, picking up a second scrape and making it to the final boss with ease. What a turnaround. We almost went 2 for 5 in Act 2, and here we are, 4 out of 5 challengers, standing before the final boss. Full HP, strong builds. Let's get a word from our heroes. Regent, how do you feel about your chances at the belt? Time is a river that moves even the stars like drops of water, and there are intangible things too. The hands of those who have fallen before me press against my back. I shall not fail, for the stars do not falter. Okay, Ironclad, how are you feeling? Fuck. Oh, look! The Defect plays it smart. He's talking to his coach. Knock, knock. Miss Necrobinder, might I have a word? Oh, jeez. I'm sorry. Wow. I didn't know she could still do that. She doesn't even have skin down there. Yikes. Interview's over. The final bosses begin. Anyone could take this, but anyone could lose it too. The Ironclad chugs all his potions, sets up a pyre, and ends turn 1 with 36 block, 5 strength, 3 thorns, 3 dexterity, while still dealing 129 damage. Fucking terrifying. The Queen strikes back by applying 99 frail, 99 weaken, and 99 vulnerability. Power creep is real, my friends. Over to the Regent, who starts combat with enough block to ignore his boss. Due to his giant fucking deck, he doesn't draw his powers or combo pieces and has to settle for a bit of damage. This boss has 3 phases with different abilities, so he saves his potions. The Necrobinder looks in horror at the one boss who counters her the hardest. This boss starts as a cloud of stones, which you need to defeat to reveal his true form, but he will switch back to the rock form after a few turns, so you need to build up Doom against multiple high-level enemies to win. The Doom remains on the Doormaker between phases, so she can still do this if she defends properly. Defect also gets the Doormaker. He sets up Feral and begins building up his claw damage. If he can scale claw high enough, he'll take home the gold, which is important for computer components. Ironclad deals big damage with his Whirlwind in exchange for 24 HP. The Regent expends his stars to boost Sovereign Blade for a massive hit, finishing off the second phase before retrieving the blade for phase 3. Necrobinder finally makes it to the Doormaker, but can't do much before he hides. This could be a long fight. Defect, on the other claw, is able to score massive damage, and it only goes up from here. Ironclad finishes off the minion and deals just enough damage for the Queen to impale herself on his thorns. We have our first winner, and this was the very first run of this profile. But we aren't through. The Regent rips through his giant deck, the combos are clicking, he just needs an opening in the boss's intangibility, and he finds it. He scores a massive 141 damage Sovereign Blade for the win, in a rookie finish. Our other rookie is struggling. She's bouncing between the forms and hanging on by a thread for so long, but she just can't get enough Doom. And she falls right at the finish line. Defect is tearing through the boss, but the curse returns. He gets an awful hand at the worst time. His only hope is using Scrape to draw a claw card. But he doesn't. Even with a solid deck, it just takes one bad hand. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. 2 winners, 2 tragic ends, and 1 rotting corpse. Twists, turns, nightmares, and miracle. This contest had it all. But it can only have one true winner. And the committee has unanimously decided to crown the Ironclad as the champion of Slay the Spire 2. He won faster and with a higher score than the Regent. While he may bask in it now, this was just one contest. It could have easily ended differently. So let's rank the characters a bit more objectively. Coming in at last place to the surprise of everyone is the Necrobinder. Despite her strong showing, her flaws are evident. Her Doom mechanic is strictly worse than Poison. Asti has too much trouble scaling into big damage. Her card pool makes up for this somewhat, and she doesn't struggle without hyper-specific combos, so she is still solid and against a different boss would have absolutely won. Second to last, I have the Defect. This game has made it so much harder to permanently increase focus, instead doing temporary buffs, but the inherent strength of a scaling zero-costed card keeps him safe here. Great cards, supporting Claw, and the orbs still result in a ton of value, but he does suffer without key cards such as Scrape. Third place, we have the Silent. Her performance was due to my greed from knowing how hard a slide deck can pop off. Her concept is actually her weakness. While Poison and Shivs have clear benefits, discarding cards is an active downside without her fantastic card pool, which is easier to assemble than this failure demonstrates. Second place is the Regent. This guy is busted. Definitely needs more brain power than the others, but it is worth it. His concept is very weak. Star cards often require multiple cards to play, and if Sovereign Blade isn't in hand, Forge cards are kind of dead. Thankfully, his cards are insane, and they combo together flexibly. That means the best character in Slay the Spire 2 is the tournament champion, the Ironclad. There's a reason he didn't need a starting bonus. His concept is strong through its simplicity, and his more complex card exhaustion mechanic is inherently beneficial since a smaller deck gets you what you want more often, as well as purging status and curse cards. His card pool, rock solid, though lacking a bit of combo potential as his cards are more about playing the card, getting the effect, and moving on. His biggest strength is assembly. Since he doesn't rely on synergy and puzzle pieces, most of his cards will fit like a glove into most of his decks. So, what do you think? Do you feel betrayed? Insulted? Let me know your opinion down in the comments. This isn't my normal style of video, but as I've made clear, I am enjoying this game way too much to go play some miserable or obscure platformer. But that is coming. The end of all things is coming. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. If you enjoyed, a like and subscription means a lot, and if you didn't enjoy, well, why the hell not? You better comment and tell me. Anyways, take care.